Hi everybody, it's Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel. Check out what I'm doing today. I just finished this card using the papers from the Burst of Spring from Heartfelt Creations. On this channel there's lots of cards and mini albums and sometimes gardening, paper crafts, painting, and this of course is one of my favorites, right? Creating flowers if I can't grow them. It's almost time for pansies. Perfect timing for these to come out. So if you hang around, I'm going to actually show you the process of going through the molds that Heartfelt, the die cutting and then molding. And I even found a way to make my own little prills, little fuzzy prills in there. I don't know if I'll be able to get that. There you go. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, I didn't have any, but I wanted that soft little fuzzy thing that's normally in the pansies. And there's a little bit of sparkle in it, and I used some of the diamond lace, which I just love, and some of their beautiful papers. As a matter of fact, I actually cut these out entirely, didn't color them. I'm ready to do some coloring with these, the things that I've stamped out, but these ones came from that page where you can just go ahead and die cut and start making flowers, and that's what I wanted to do while I had the time on vacation. So if you want to stick around and see how I did it, that would be great. If you'd like any of these items, you can find them in my little store, HuckleberryHerbs.com. Do the products in the description or the show more down below. Cheery Pansy die and 3D Pansy shaping mold is what I'm going to be using for the most part. The first thing I needed to do was cut these flowers out, and I just cut them in long strips, remembering which groupings they were in with the dies, and then cut them into those little groupings, and really ended up with just so many of them. And now all I had to do is take these dies out and put them through the Big Shot, and wow, that's a lot of flowers. It's fun to be able to start off with all of these because although I started coloring as soon as I got it, I wanted to make flowers right away, and this mold is great. You just face the flowers downward, give them a quick squirt to loosen the fibers, put the cover on, and make sure you use your top and bottom plate in your die cut machine, and look at how they come out. It would have taken me forever to get all those little ridges and grooves and pressings that the mold gets in just a second. So now I have something to work with. This is what they look like when they come out. I will say that this mold and these pansies did have more paper breakage in the mold, and that may have to do with the fact that I'm using the papers that are white core, so it's going to show, but that's no problem because I'm coming back to ink over, and any of those places where the paper has cracked a little, there you go. I'm just going to color it. It doesn't matter to me because in the end the overall product has made this job easy for me. I can dig in, I can get my flowers made, and really it's just so easy to cover up with the ink compared to coloring them, which I'm excited about doing. But so a little of this lilac for the darker purple rather than the mauve or the wineish tone violet color. I like that both of these colors were combined in the page so that I could mix them together, because a lot of times that's the way pansies in real life come. They have multiple tones depending on which part of the flower you're speaking of, and to be able to mix and match right from the get-go was pretty cool. I was really excited about seeing what these would look like, and whether or not to my own mind's eye they matched up with what a pansy in real life looks like. Those of you that have been following me a few years know that every spring I go out and I plant all these pansies. I have a couple of pansy videos in the garden, and then I have also videos where I'm showing you how you can use the microwave to press them, dry them out. I also have videos where I've shown how to make real pansy bookmarks, so I use them in my crafts, and it's so nice to combine these little paper ones, you know, for example, make a nice card, and then inside you have a real life pansy, present in the box that you've covered with the paper. It just makes for such a nice combination gift. So they're very easy to put together. You just take the two parts and slide the double onto it. But this is the first one I'm doing, and I definitely was doing a bit of fumbling trying to figure out, wait a second, how do I get this thing down in there? My glue is dripping down, but that's okay. The first one's always, if there's more than one part and you're not just pressing them, a little bit more complicated, just because you have to get used to it, get your motor skills going, and figure out what's the best plan for how to approach assembling. And this is not the best plan. So as you can see, I decided to right away press in the center, and that of course squished all the glue out. And yeah, I am not going to be doing it this way again, but just goes to show you, you can try it if you want it, but I already did, and you can use me as an example. Don't bother doing that. Let them dry out a little bit before you try to do that last press for shaping, because of course we want these nice rigid little ridge-filled petals to be facing sort of forward when they're at their best, right? The pansies are looking right at you with that cute little face. So after this one, I kind of learned my lesson, and I'm going to approach it differently now. I'm just going to take that little double guy, I'm going to place him where he is supposed to go, easy enough. It just falls right into the two openings on either side of the main body. And then I'm just going to put the glue in that back area. So even this second one, I wasn't moving along quite the way, but that I will later on. But now that I've got the idea that we're going to keep it simple, the glue is back there, and I'm just going to leave it to dry. And then once I didn't let it dry fully, because of course then the glue becomes very hard. But once the glue has become really sticky and the flower is staying together and it's still soft, then you can come back and press in the center and create that final shape that you want for the pansy. And of course, if you wanted to have the flower stay mostly flattened because you want to mail the flowers, well, it's nice to have that option as well. You don't have to come back and do this part. You can just leave it nice and flat so that you can put it in an envelope and send it on its way. But I did want to try these on a more three-dimensional project first. And there they are, all waiting for the next step, looking gorgeous with those two beautiful purplish tones. Now this I do not want you to try if you don't have a steady hand. So I just took some of the colored core. So this is colored core paper that actually is colored the same throughout, and it wouldn't have problems with cracking showing if you used color core paper in the 3D molds. But I'm using it here to create these little fuzzy crumbs of paper, and this is going to allow me to, without having to purchase a whole bunch, create my own fuzziness for my flowers. But it is dangerous, okay? I'm using very thick, strong paper that I have folded over, and I am gripping it along the edge with my thumb running the lengthwise. And although I have to put pressure, I'm being very cautious not to go real fast. And please don't try that and get yourself hurt. And if you're a kid, don't try it at all. Just, I don't know, cut little teeny pieces of paper some other way, but don't do this if your hand is not sure, or you're not ready to pay the price if you run that sharp scissors across your hand. So at any rate, hoping that you all stay safe, I have now just put a dab of glue in the center, and I want the fuzziness to stay three-dimensional. I want it to stick up, so you don't want to push it down with your finger. I just want it to, the fibers are all mixed in, set on top of the glue. And there they are, all ready with their little fuzzies inside. And now I can take a piece of beautiful paper from the Burst of Spring collection from Heartfelt, and one of the Lacey Diamond Dies. I actually probably should have used that top section, but I did know I was going to put the purple, dark purple flowers on there too, so I figured, well, I've got to get a combination of the colors, so I chose a different area. I cut the paper out to the size that I wanted, and then I'm inking it up, and I am going to put the more violet color and then come back and put just dabs of the dark purple with Distress Oxide inks along the edges. Then I can just get this nicely placed on my card front and come back for finally the best part, right? They always say it's the journey, and I enjoy making the flowers. I certainly find it a way to de-stress and stop focusing on things that are annoying me or bothering me or worrying me. It's fun to do art, music, or visual, doesn't matter. That's one of the benefits of it, is to de-stress and create something beautiful, getting your mind off your problems. So I'm thinking the entire journey is fun, but most of us are geared towards, let me put this thing together. I want to see this. So these diamond dies, boy, I'm having fun with those. There's some new 3 or 4 sets of diamond type dies from Heartfelt, and this Lacey one, I was just so excited to put it on something. And I had just the right color to match the flowers. Oh, it all worked out so well as far as that goes. And I'm just going to be placing these, including the leaves. Now, it doesn't come with as many leaves, but they did have the leafy die and stamp come out a couple months ago. So if you're looking to just be able to make tons of leaves all at once, so no matter what flowers you're creating or using for your creations, you can have lots of leaves set aside and ready to go. Leaves are rather generic, and a lot of different flowers will look fine with the same shaped leaf. So you can get those dies if you want to have more leaves, but they're concentrating in these die cuts or dies and molds on the flowers themselves. And I certainly want to get enough flowers to do projects and not have repeated leaves in every collection that they send out. So now that I have the flowers on, I'm just going to put a little seam binding bow up here that I've created, and I'm going to come back with a small pansy and put that right in the center, and I will finish this up with a sentiment at some other point. But this project is pretty much done, and I hope you enjoyed watching the 3D mold in action. I really like them because I can just dig in and get things done. You can always take your time if you're just doing one special project, but sometimes I just want to create a bunch of stuff where I have very little time, and they're very helpful. I'm going to come back and put some glitter on here. I usually just do small touches by watering down some glue on the side and taking a rough brush. I don't know what else to call it. It's almost like straw, for crying out loud. It's dried out, it's not soft. And I just touch the edges of the flowers and put some clear glitter. All right, thank you so much for hanging in there. I'm going to put a sentiment probably right across here. I haven't stamped inside or done anything yet. I think this might be my daughter's birthday card. She loves purple, and there's all kinds of purples in here. So I'll probably finish it up with sentiments, but so nice to make spring cards in February. I love it. Cheers me right up. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you'd like any of the things that you saw in this, you can check out the HuckleberryHerbs.com store, and I should have some depending on when you're looking into it. All right, everybody, till next time, this is Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art. I'll be back with some more card shares and ideas for the pansies, as well as I'm still having fun with the tulips and other things, especially these diamond dies. Oh my goodness, they're so cool. Till next time, God bless.